This is News 8 Now, this morning.
Of all the trees at Rotary Lights, there's one that's not done being decorated yet. We'll tell you about the message of the Amara Rose Foundation.
Customers come in and drop off like $160 to throw in a bucket for the people. So we were able to start a little donation bucket at the registers too.
So even though the Mother Nature has created some incredible artwork for us, it is a bit worrisome due to the weight that's on the building, but we're betting on the brave little shop doing just fine with its tough Nordic genes and pulling through for us.
And that was your eye-opener. Good morning, everybody, and thanks for watching News 8 Now this morning. I'm Ken Kozorowski. Derek Sibley joins us. It is 6 a.m. on this Wednesday, December 28th, 2022, and Derek has been forecasting a warm-up kind of week, temperature-wise. Yeah. And Derek, it arrived. I usually judge this kind of commute based on how cold it is and how long I have to have the seat warmers on. I had it on for maybe 30 seconds, and I'm like, it's almost like spring this morning.
Seat warmers, man, that sounds nice.
It's a luxury for sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to upgrade that here on my next vehicle. But yeah, you probably didn't need that, and I'm sure a lot of you all probably didn't need that as well. As Ken mentioned, because those temperatures this morning are much more milder here to work with current readings into those upper 20s. Some of us even to the low 30s, like Winona at 32 degrees this morning. Kind of a heat wave there for you. 26 degrees in Eau Claire, and it's 27 now in Viroqua. But I feel like temperatures only into the upper teens to low 20s overall across the board. Not too bad here to work with this morning. It is pretty cloudy though. You can see all those clouds moving in still from the west. A few light snow showers here fell here rather overnight across our north zones. Now the cloudy skies that we see now are going to continue throughout the morning and also into the afternoon and evening here too. That south wind is really going to help play a factor in warming our temperatures up into the mid to upper 30s, especially by this afternoon, making it much more mild compared to average for this time of the year. And that's only a sign of what is to come really throughout the rest of this week and perhaps even over the next several days, Ken. We'll talk about that a little bit later.
Looking forward to it. Thanks, Derek. Let's get to some news on this Wednesday morning. More than 100,000 people have died of a drug overdose in just the last year. That's according to the American Medical Association. As News 8 Now's Emily Haugen explains, local families are using a tree at Riverside Park to raise awareness and remind us that each overdose impacts countless lives.
The people we love stay with us.
She was animated, she was sparkly, she was intelligent, she was funny.
Even after they're gone.
It's tough, and I still got to go to work.
Randall and Heidi Overson's daughter, Amara Rose Lee, battled addiction for 8 years and spent those years in and out of jail.
I had many heart-to-heart conversations with her, trying to get her to redirect her path in life. But she was struggling.
Vernon County Correctional Officer Veronica Hoyland knew Amara well.
Over the course of time, you run into inmates who somehow seem to tug at your heartstrings. So Amara was one of them.
Hoyland spoke with Amara in the jail just a week before she died.
Did I do enough as a person? Did I talk to her enough? Did I reach out to her?
Amara lost her battle with addiction in January 2020.
You cry every day. It was hard picking out her clothes for the funeral. It was harder seeing her in the casket. It's nothing any parent should go through.
Julie Tully's son, Carl, had a similar story. She lost him to a fentanyl overdose 5 years ago.
How destructive it can be, and not just to the individual that's using, but to their whole family, their friends, their coworkers, everything is affected.
Tully and the Oversons met each other through their children. Now they've come together for their children.
We need help. Somebody please do something before another loved one dies.
A foundation for their children now represented in a tree at La Crosse's Rotary Lights, adorned with the names of people lost to addiction and the faces of others.
I felt like it was healing to hang his photo and to remember him and to honor him.
Today, the tree is decorated with nearly 80 ornaments.
We were amazed, and it's a sad thing, but we were amazed.
Representing 80 lives lost and the countless others struggling to cope with that loss.
That to me tells me they want something done.
The names on this tree are just the start, a reminder their work isn't done yet. In La Crosse, Emily Haugen, News 8 Now.
And you can still add a name to the tree. The Oversons say they plan to sponsor a tree there for years to come. You can find more details on our website, news8000.com. Firefighters in Sparta were busy over the holiday weekend responding to 2 separate house fires. No one was injured. The first call came Friday morning for a basement fire on State Highway 16. Investigators say a heat lamp used to warm water pipes caught fire. The home sustained moderate smoke and water damage. Now, the second fire started Christmas morning in the attic of a home on Gillette Street. It was caused by faulty wiring and spread through the attic and down into an interior and exterior wall. Firefighters had to cut through siding to put it out. Fire crews in Cashton were called to a building on Irish Ridge Road near Parker Road after 6:30 Tuesday night. By the time News 8 Now got on the scene, the fire was mostly out, but smoke was still coming from the building. Fire crews from multiple surrounding towns were called in to help haul water. A sign outside the building read Homestead Products, an Amish farm supply store. The fire is still under investigation. Now, Cashton Fire and Rescue is looking for more emergency medical responders. They are calling anyone interested to register for an upcoming class and even offering to pay that class tuition. Class registration ends on January 3rd, so interested parties are urged to privately message Kathy Wendland. The recent string of fires has impacted Minnesota communities in our region as well. 11 Spring Grove families lost everything in the fire that destroyed 6 apartments and a hardware store. News 8 Now's Dua Israr details how local businesses are now coming together to help those families.
It's the days after a tragedy, the kindness of a community shines through.
We had so many donations coming in.
In Spring Grove, Minnesota, everyone is family.
When you live in a town this small, you almost have a connection with everybody that was affected by that fire in some way or another.
When 11 families lost everything but the clothes on their backs.
The people that were in the apartments lost literally everything. What they walked out with was what they had.
This community stepped up.
We were able to send them home with some cash from the donations for those emergency uses.
Community members donated clothes, toiletries, and even provided families with shelter.
Living in a small town and being able to say, you know, hey, we can call that person and we can call that person.
Patrick Longmire's family donated gift cards to their grocery store.
Customers come in and drop off like $160 to throw in a bucket for the people, so we were able to start a little donation bucket at the registers too.
Nearly 30 miles away, another grocery store pitched in to help.
Neighboring community over at Rushford Foods reached out and wanted to help out where they could too.
Over $2,000 in donations later, this community says their work is just beginning.
They support us and we're going to support them.
They'll keep collecting donations.
Because that's what we do here.
Until the victims and their families have everything they need. Reporting in Spring Grove, Minnesota, Dua Israr, News 8 Now.
Thanks, Dua. And the Spring Grove Chamber of Commerce says all 11 families have temporary places to stay. The community's working on helping them find long-term housing solutions. If you'd like to help, you can make a donation through the city's GoFundMe page. We've posted that link on news8000.com. There is still time to give a special gift this holiday season. The Red Cross blood supply is critically low. The La Crosse chapter of the Knights of Columbus hosted a blood drive on Tuesday afternoon. The group has been sponsoring drives for close to 2 years. Tuesday's holiday drive was their 12th, and it was fully booked. Volunteers say there's no gift more special than the gift you give when you roll up your sleeve.
It's a very simple way to give life and to support people whose need they wouldn't necessarily be able to predict. And so this is a great gift that people can give.
Now, there are several other upcoming blood drives. We have a link to find those future events at news8000.com. The recent and colder than normal weather has not stopped people from visiting La Crosse's Rotary Lights. The downtown light display is free, but volunteers ask for donations for local food pantries. During the remaining nights, donations will be going to the Salvation Army, Caledonia and Onalaska Food Baskets, and St. Elizabeth's Food Pantry in Holmen. Rotary President Pat Stevens says he's expecting the warmer weather this week to bring in one last boost of donations.
We have our best nights in the park when there's a lot of people walking the park and enjoying it, rather than just circling it with vehicles and stuff. So, yeah, that sub-zero stuff hurts us a little bit, for sure.
Everyone coming to see the lights is encouraged to bring non-perishable food items, or people can make a monetary donation. The lights, of course, into New Year's. The lights turn on at 5 and gates close at 10. And Saturday night, there will be fireworks shows to celebrate the new year. Still ahead on your morning news, fuel up while you can. Experts say gas prices will begin to rise as early as May. And the unique hotel rooms you can stay at if you're going on vacation soon. That and more still to come after the break. Time is 6:09. For now, we're sending you to break with something to put the good in your morning. If you're looking to get rid of that Christmas tree, the Oxnard Park Zoo in Baraboo is taking them. There they give each tree to animals who use them for different things. The goats and pigs typically just eat the trees, while the beavers and bears rip them apart to use as bedding. The zoo also plans to post pictures and videos on Facebook of the animals enjoying all those donated trees. Don't go anywhere. More News 8 Now This Morning is coming up after the break.
Skies continue to remain pretty cloudy here throughout the morning. A few light snow showers here were observed to the north overnight, but that has since cleared out and skies just continue to remain cloudy with temperatures into the mid to upper 20s, 26 in Eau Claire now and 29 in La Crosse, with wind chill values into the upper teens, if not the low 20s here in most of the Coulee region. Let's get checked now on your zone forecast in La Crosse County. Our high temperatures today into the mid to upper 30s with a high of 38 today if you're at Holman. Meanwhile, as we head further south, our temperatures will reach the upper 30s and in some spots like Gays Mills today reaching a high of 40 degrees. 37 today, meanwhile, in Winona, 39 just shy of 40 in Melrose, but we should hit 40 in Black River Falls today. Highs into the upper 30s with 39 expected in Eau Claire under cloudy skies. Your bus stop forecast this morning, 28 degrees, mostly cloudy skies for the lunch hour, 36 and cloudy skies for lunch hour there. In the afternoon will continue to remain overcast with temperatures at 38 degrees, pretty mild here around the dismissal time. We'll talk about your full weather forecast and we'll talk more about these temperatures here as well, staying on the mild side, coming up in just a bit.
Well, holiday shopping is over, but for many, now come the credit card payments. 1/3 of Americans this year took on an average of over $1,500 in holiday debt. It's a 24% increase over last year, according to LendingTree. It's the highest amount in 8 years, and it comes as Americans continue to grapple with the highest inflation in nearly 4 decades. Gas prices are way down from the record highs of over $5 last summer, currently just over $3 a gallon, but don't get used to it. According to GasBuddy, the price at the pump could rise to $4 a gallon by May. The prediction is based on the higher cost to produce summer-grade gasoline, plus more Americans hit the road in warmer months. However, GasBuddy does admit there's a lot of uncertainty in gas prices and accurate predictions can be challenging. Not being allowed to travel during the pandemic created the trend to go on your dream vacation. And those trips sometimes include bucket list hotels and extra special rooms at the properties. Wendy Gillette reports from some of the more unique offerings around the world.
For some, a bucket list hotel room in the Maldives means a bubble. If the turquoise waters of the Indian Ocean and overwater pools and villas aren't special enough at Finaloo Resort, add on a night in the beach bubble tent, which has all the comforts of home. Inside a bubble on a private beach. The $1,000 a night stay includes beachside meals served by a butler.
If Mother Nature allowed us, it would be booked really probably about 350 days out of 365.
If space is more your idea of paradise in the Maldives, Vela Private Island offers a standalone overwater villa accessible only by boat, known as the Romantic Residence, with a little beach, big pool, gym, jacuzzi, spa, and several areas for eating, including a gazebo on a floating jetty. It's so special, stars stay here for rates starting at $7 grand a night. Eye-popping prices, but these days, even many of us non-celebs are opting for upgrades.
What we're seeing now is that people are actually wanting to get better rooms. So they want the best hotel, but now instead of the entry-level rooms, they're wanting the suites.
There's no traditional suite at Lion Sands Ivory Lodge and Kruger National Park in northeast South Africa, but there are treehouse rooms. Beds overlook the bush. The tree houses have running water but no lights, only lanterns to immerse yourself in nature. for around $240 a person, plus the cost of a regular room, in case the late-night roars prove too scary.
Lyons Hands has 3 of these tree houses. They're sold out most nights of the year.
We got special rates at these hotels. Heading down south to wine country, a stay at Babylon Storn gives you views like this from the porch of your cottage. At this working farm, take a bath here and pretend this is your kitchen. Another item on the bucket list.
I loved how sneaky that was for $7 grand a night. I don't think any of us are doing that, even if we had the money. That's a little obscene. Well, you can also visit Babylon Storn in South African wine country for the day for wine tasting tours or meals.
Very quiet, but also very mild start this morning in the Coulee region. For example, here in La Crosse, it's 29 degrees, just shy of 30, with a feel-like temperature of only 20 degrees. South-southeast winds at around 10 miles an hour here this morning. Meanwhile, to the north in Eau Claire, travel conditions look good, 26 degrees, visibility also good, 10 miles there. South-southeast winds at around 9 miles an hour. Current temperatures in Winona to the west 32, 27 though in Oakfield, 27 as well in both Viroqua and in Sparta here this morning, 26 meanwhile Black River Falls. Wind chill values here into the upper teens, if not low 20s here this morning. Not too bad here to work with considering what we've been dealing with here lately. Temperatures into the upper 30s to low 40s during the afternoon hours here today. Cloudy skies moving in now. Few light snow showers here to the north overnight. That has since cleared out. We should just remain cloudy pretty much throughout the rest of the day with temperatures into those mid to upper 30s. Sky Tracker showing that we will be looking at increasing clouds here as we progress into the morning hours, so call it mostly cloudy with those temperatures into the upper 30s here this afternoon with those overcast conditions mainly overhead, especially by this evening too. It will continue to remain pretty cloudy. Temperatures into the mid 30s there overnight tonight. Still looking cloudy. That should help keep temperatures warm, and we will be looking at cloudy skies with those temperature readings into the mid 30s here for tomorrow morning. But watch what happens by tomorrow afternoon. Despite the cloud cover, temperatures into the low 40s during the afternoon hours, well above average here this time of year, followed by some increasing moisture that could lead to some spotty showers by tomorrow evening. And the same could be said as we head into overnight tomorrow night and also into early on Friday morning. Maybe a couple of spotty rain snow mixes there. Temperatures into the upper 20s, low 30s, and also into those cloudy weather conditions. Now, speaking of those mild temperatures, we're going to continue to remain that way throughout the rest of this week. Highs into the upper 30s, low 40s, then a sharp difference here as highs drop down to the freezing mark by Wednesday, and then we climb here a little bit by Thursday up to around 35 degrees. And that's all associated with this pattern change that we're currently under. Remember all that Arctic air? Well, that's all gone now as we have a southerly wind here now intruding our environment, and that's going to help give us pretty mild conditions here to work with. And in fact, over the next 6 to 10 days, we do expect temperatures to be well above the climatological average for this time of year. And you'll notice that here on the 8-day forecast as those temperatures will continue to remain into those mid to upper 30s. And in some days here, like Thursday into early next week on Monday and Tuesday, we could reach those low 40s. All really thanks to that southerly wind profile that we got going on here. That looks like we're kind of going to be stuck in this pattern to keep winter on pause here for a little while longer. Even our low temperatures looking pretty warm to start into the 20s to low 30s. A couple of rain chances to work with Thursday, and then probably early next week, Monday and Tuesday. Have to watch out for some rain there. Stay tuned though. We're back with much more news and weather still to come here on News 8 Now this morning. But for now, we are taking a quick break with a look at what happened on this day in history for December 28th. We'll be right back. Temperatures this morning pretty mild into the mid to upper 20s, 29 in La Crosse now, 26 in Eau Claire. City Cam 8 definitely looking quiet, but it is pretty cloudy out there, though. You'll notice that as the sun rises here especially. A few snow showers here were observed mainly to the north across our northern zones this morning. That has since cleared out, giving way to just mainly cloudy skies here. Dog walking conditions will continue to be cloudy here for the morning. That will last into the afternoon. If you have any evening walks as well, conditions continue to remain mild with those cloudy skies here lasting throughout the day. All right, stay tuned. We'll have a check on your commute forecast plus another check on your full weather forecast. That's coming up a little bit later.
Welcome to the Blitz. The holiday weekend is over and high school hoops are back. A couple of our area teams returning to the hardwood Tuesday night for the Aquinas Holiday Tournament. Blue Gold's the host of the night. They were in action looking to pick up another win. Let's see how it went down. Aquinas High, the place to be on Tuesday. Blue Gold's playing host to Richland Center. Let's pick this one up first half. Walter Burns flying on the cup here, scoops it off the glass for two. Aquinas jumps out in front. The home team rolling early. Later in the half, Logan Becker finding Jonathan Skemp in the corner. He buries the three. Blue Golds go up 7. Then it's good defense leading to good offense off the steal. Burns doing it all by himself, coast to coast, lays it up and in. Blue Golds take a 16-point lead. Hornets trying to hang in. Andrew Pools gets a good look, rattles home the 3. That cuts it back to 11, but Aquinas, they answer right back, and it's Becker leading the charge. The freshman feeling it in the first half, and Becker going right to work in the second. Baseline drive off the glass. Blue Golds get the win, 65-56. They'll be in the championship game tonight. Their opponent, the winner of this one, GET taking on Baldwin Woodville. Cody Schmitz averaging 32 points a game for the Redhawks. He had it going on in this one, but not just with the scoring. Schmitz finds Kyle Sealing cross court, sealing the floater. GET trailing though early, later in the half. You got to see this. Mason Brown tips the pass, somehow saves it from going out of bounds. Right in the hands of Schmitz, misses the first. Nice second effort. We're tied at 28 at the half. GET would go down early in the second, but down the stretch, Schmitz takes over, drives baseline, gets the bucket and the foul for the three-point play. And how about 3 points a different way? Schmitz from beyond the arc. It's money. He's fired up as GT's right back in it. Number 23 on fire. His teammates know it. Jack Beadle goes right to him in the corner. Bang. GT has the lead. How about one more? Schmitz, nobody even close to him. He's going to make you pay another 3. He'd finish with 38 on the night. GT gets the win, 61-54. That's going to do it for the Blitz, but the Badgers football team went in action last night for the final time this season, getting a taste of a new era under head coach Luke Fickell. And for that, I'll send it back to Ken.
All right, thanks a lot, Rob. Yes, indeed, Fickell on the sidelines. Jim Leonard, though, calling the shots for the last time as Wisconsin battled Oklahoma State in Arizona. Badgers opened with a field goal. Cowboys then on their first drive swinging pass. Initially, it doesn't look like much, but the freshman Stephon Johnson just makes literally everybody miss, and then he breaks it to the near sideline, 84 yards to the house, and just like that, Cowboys take the lead. Now, a Chez Mellusi 1-yard score got Wisconsin back up 3. Chase Wolf, the quarterback, because Graham Mertz is already gone, bootleg to perfection to find Hayden Rucci. It's 17-7 Badgers at the half. Third quarter, Wisconsin going to the bell cow back. Braylon Allen, all the blocks in front of him for a huge 20-yard score. He ran for $116 on 22 carries in this game. Badger offense was quiet the rest of the way, but Leonard's defense strong one final time. Cedric Dort Jr. nabbing the interception that'll seal the win. And Jim Leonard exits Wisconsin as a winner. Badgers win 24-17 in the Guaranteed Rate Bowl. That's your Sports Blitz. More news is coming up after the break. Several NGOs have suspended operations in Afghanistan after the Taliban banned women from working at such organizations. Critics say the decision could cripple humanitarian efforts in the region. For instance, the Red Cross said 1/3 of its paid workers in Afghanistan are women, adding that the ban leaves the country's health system in doubt. The UN says hope in Afghanistan is dwindling as the Taliban continues to chip away at the rights and freedoms hard won by women over the last 2 decades. The Supreme Court ruled Tuesday that pandemic-era limits on immigration will remain in effect indefinitely. The policy, often referred to as Title 42, allows the U.S. to expel asylum seekers for public health reasons. Immigration supporters argue Title 42 goes against American and international obligations to people fleeing their countries to escape persecution. The High Court says it will start listening to arguments on the policy in February. Southwest Airlines says it will operate on a reduced flight schedule for the rest of the week as it tries to get operations back to normal. The airline canceled over 60% of its flights Tuesday, stranding thousands at airports around the country. The federal government says it's investigating why the nation's 4th largest airline has lagged so far behind other carriers in recovering from a pre-Christmas storm. Minnesotans aren't letting the bitter blast recently keep them from having a good time. Caroline Cummings shows us where people are going to escape the cold.
Put inside the Como Park Zoo and Conservatory. It's so delightful.
It literally just sounded nice and warm. Like, it's so cold out that it would just be so nice to like walk through and pretend like it's not like that outside.
We found families shedding coats and hats for a slice of the tropics. The perfect winter escape when the kids are on school break.
Kids like to get out there and get out of the house and off the screens.
Why'd you want to come out and do something fun in the cold?
because it would be a good adventure.
A place where water doesn't freeze and you wouldn't know it's below zero. Yesterday and today, the coldest December days in Minnesota in years.
Don't want to go to work, but don't want to stay indoors.
Meanwhile, at the Mall of America, the last-minute Christmas shopping rush.
Oh, yeah, just something I had.
And even an appearance from Santa Claus?
I just love wearing this coat. It's nice and warm on days like this. And it's warmer here than up north. So I thought I'd go, a little casual today.
Some not here for presents, but just for fun, like Stevie Allen and her kids who just moved to Hudson.
We've been wanting to do this for a while, and winter's no better time to come, so we can have a lot of fun inside.
For Bev Aho and her family, even getting to the mall is a holiday blessing. She has cancer and just got home from a stay at the Mayo Clinic. Now they're making the most of it.
We thought we'd be in the hospital, but she got out. We broke her out. And we got to come to the Mall of America.
To be able to be with my family and just to be out and see all of this and walk a little bit and move it, I'm just so thankful. It's like a Christmas miracle.
And going to Como Park Conservatory is free, but you do need to make a reservation. One shop wasn't able to escape the cold as Mother Nature decided a little Wisconsin shop needed a blanket of ice. Take a look at this. This little building houses Simply Scandinavian, a shop in Gills Rock right next to Lake Michigan. The high winds from last week's storm fueled big waves, covering the shop in an estimated foot of ice. The store's owner has been driving by and checking in on the shop daily, and she says she's never seen the shop covered in such a thick layer.
So even though the Mother Nature has created some incredible artwork for us, it is a bit worrisome due to the weight that's on the building, but we're betting on the brave little shop doing just fine with its tough Nordic jeans and pulling through for us.
The store's owner is looking forward to this week's warmer temperatures, and she's hoping some of the ice will thaw and take some weight off that building. Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers has chosen the DNR's new secretary. Evers is appointing Adam Payne, who currently serves as the county administrator for Sheboygan County. He has a background in conservation and led 2 conservation projects for the county during his 20 years at the position. Payne will be replacing Preston Cole, who is retiring. Now, the state Senate will need to vote to confirm Payne's position. Governor Evers is funding emergency shelters and low-income housing. The Wisconsin Housing and Economic Development Authority is running the program and will grant $2 million to 54 statewide organizations. WEDA says the grant will create and/or improve more than 1,700 beds and housing units. That includes 2 facilities in La Crosse and Onalaska. The local Lego masters are sharing their love for the toys and creativity. Brothers Jacob and Caleb Schilling of Holmen met with fans at the Deke Slayton Museum in Sparta to talk about all things Lego. The brothers competed on Fox's Lego Masters and shared some special behind-the-scenes details. The Schillings say Legos have been a lifelong passion, and being on the show opened up many doors.
You'd never think that you'd get to see and do some of the things that we've gotten to do. Being on national television, traveling the country, talking about what we love to do is be kids. It's opened up some fantastic opportunities.
Now, Caleb has an Instagram account featuring their work, and we have posted a link on our website, news8000.com. All this week, we are looking at our favorite stories from 2022. In May, we introduced you to a Holmen High School cook who adds her own personality into the mix. As News 8 Now Jordan Fremstad explains, her positive energy received national recognition.
You better make sure you smile pretty.
Work done behind the scenes.
So we always have a good fun time.
Does not mean its role takes a seat at the back of the classroom.
No, we're not always seen, but we are always heard.
Holmen High School's Stephanie Sheely
God bless that woman.
is busy prepping for the afternoon rush.
It is fast-paced, busy, hard work, and I didn't expect that. Being a lunch lady and all. Have an awesome day, Aiden. Makes me get up and go. Have a lovely afternoon, sweets.
Someone who started as a substitute teacher, who found a love for nutrition in more ways than a healthy meal.
Have a great day, Josie. Josie, you want sauce, hon? If I can make one kid a day smile, then my job is complete.
Her ability to relate with kids is really off the charts.
Always moving, but always smiling. For the students she serves.
They kind of keep you young, too.
her efforts have flown far from under the radar.
It does feel good, yeah, to be recognized.
Director of Nutrition Services Mike Gasper says Sheely is the first in Wisconsin to win a special honor.
It's quite an accomplishment.
I'm honored to present the 2022 National Employee of the Year to Stephanie Sheely.
Well, I didn't even know there was such an award for Lunch Lady of the Year.
Her humble nature won't allow her to believe she's worthy of the honor, but her students disagree.
She deserves it.
Nutrition leader Sarah Mumm echoes that statement.
I can't think of a person more deserving than this and stuff.
Thank you, everybody.
A moment celebrated by people and a best friend.
Hey, Ruby.
This is about more than her work in the kitchen.
You sweet girl. Yes, you are.
She adds an extra ingredient.
Sweet. Yeah, Noah.
Every day coming in, smile on her face, making everyone happy.
Have a good one, Taylor girl.
I mean, come on, there's 1,200 students and she knows most of their names.
I put little riddles to their names. That's how I know.
Golly, I gotta say, she's one of the coolest ladies there is here.
2:30, baby.
Her personality fills everyone she meets.
You gotta stay positive. You gotta surround yourself by amazing people who are gonna lift you up. To be kind to everybody. You know, everybody has a story to tell.
Passion and joy are written on Stephanie's face.
And everybody's going through difficulties. So just be kind to everybody.
These are the moments where a life in education is defined.
Thank you guys for...
One of those people that your children remember years after they've graduated.
A balanced meal prepared with a little extra love.
Have a great rest of your day, darling. I wouldn't have it any other way. Have a lovely afternoon, hon.
That is perhaps the most important part of this Holman Viking recipe.
Up top! We don't just feed the body, I think we also have to nourish the soul.
This is Jordan Fremstead, News 8 Now, Holman High School.
And in July, she went on an all-expense-paid trip to be recognized at SNA's annual national conference in Orlando.
Well, temperatures this morning are much milder here into the mid to upper 20s. You can see Eau Claire is at 26 degrees, 29 degrees, so a bit warmer for you in La Crosse. City Cam 8 off to a quiet start, but it is a little bit cloudy out there, though, nonetheless. A few snow showers here overnight across our northern zones. The rest of us just looking mainly cloudy, and those cloudy skies will continue throughout the day. 38 degrees, mild south winds 10 to 20 miles an hour, and for tonight those cloudy weather conditions will continue. Our temperatures though should drop to around the freezing mark of 32 and south winds at 5 to 10. For your drivecast though, things will continue to remain quiet, cloudy, 30 temperatures into the 20s and low 30s. Lunch hour looking at cloudy and pretty mild conditions here too, and the evening commute back should remain pretty cloudy and mild here to say the least as well. Stay tuned. We'll have a final check on that full weather forecast, and we'll talk more about these mild conditions and how long they could last as well. Ken?
Thanks very much, Derek. Time is now 6:40 a.m. Coming up after the break, the movie prop from The Wizard of Oz that sold for nearly $500,000. That story and more coming up in our Buzz Report.
Pretty mild conditions now. City Cam 8 definitely looking quiet, but pretty cloudy though here in La Crosse. 29 degrees the temperature. Visibility does look good though at around 10 miles. Now to the north we go in Eau Claire. Temperatures here pretty similar. 26 degrees, maybe slightly cooler. Visibility also looking good around 10 miles for that morning commute. Let's talk about the temperatures across the rest of the area, and you can see mid to upper 20s. Some spots like Winona in the low 30s here this morning, with wind chill factors not bad either, into the upper teens to low 20s. Your highs today much warmer into the upper 30s, low 40s. Our high today in Eau Claire at 38 degrees, and same can be said here down south in La Crosse as well. Cloudy skies continue to move across the area. A few light snow showers here were observed across our northern zones overnight. That has since cleared out, and we're just again continuing to remain cloudy all throughout the rest of the morning and day today, with those temperatures into those mid to upper 30s. And you'll see that here on Sky Tracker as well, with temperatures in the 30s, and we also got those cloudy skies kind of moving around the Coulee region here throughout the day today. As we take you into this evening, cloudy skies will once again be the main weather story here for us to work with, along with those pretty warm above average temperatures as well, lasting into the morning hours tomorrow with those cloudy skies here as well. Check out what happens to our temperatures. We warm up into the upper 30s to low 40s in some spots with those cloudy skies overhead. And we also may be watching for a couple of some spotty showers kind of moving into the area by Thursday evening. And a few of those may even transition to a little bit of some snow and rain here as we take you into early on Friday. And then my cloudy skies will continue into that commute there on Friday with temperatures in the 20s. Now, speaking of temperatures, check out what happens here. We're going to continue to remain pretty mild to the upper 30s to low 40s throughout the rest of this week. Now, we take a dive here on Wednesday with a high of 32 before warming back up to 35 by around Thursday of next week. It's all associated with this warmer air mass now taking over. So the Arctic air mass is gone. We have the southerly wind profile, which is going to help pump in some very mild conditions across the upper Midwest, including us here in the Coulee region. And in fact, this pattern, this mild and warm pattern that is, will stick around here, it looks like, at least for the next 6 to 10 days. So winter is kind of on a pause here for a little while, with temperatures into the mid to upper 30s to low 40s over these next 8 days, which I got to tell you is way above average for this time of the year. So take it while you can. Try to go outside and enjoy it, because it looks like this type of weather, at least for temperatures, will be sticking around. Now, we do have rain chances in the forecast for tomorrow, around 40%, pretty light there. Otherwise, cloudy skies for the rest of this week and mild, of course. As we take you into early next week, there is a chance of some rain showers, especially on Monday. That could linger into early next week once again on Tuesday, so we'll watch out for that. Otherwise, enjoy the mild air and temperatures, again, 30s and low 40s, low temperatures into the 20s to low 30s.
Time is money, as people like to say, and here's a literal representation. The Smithsonian Magazine reports a prop used in The Wizard of Oz recently sold for $495,000 at auction. It was the ornate hourglass in the scene where the Wicked Witch of the West tells Dorothy she only has a short time to live. The auction house called it the most recognizable signature prop from that film. Film director James Cameron, who turned Arnold Schwarzenegger into the Terminator, appears to be backing away from some on-screen violence. Cameron says he actually cut about 10 minutes of gunplay action from Avatar: The Way of Water. The filmmaker, who rose to fame with such films as The Terminator and True Lies, said he doesn't know if he would want to make those films now. He added that he is unsure if he'd want to fetishize the gun in our current world. Well, time is now 6:47. This is usually when we head into break with today's Look Who's 8, Derek, but we don't have any submissions today.
That's right, Ken. Sometimes that does happen, but if you know a special someone that is turning 8 months, 8 years, 18, 80, or 88 years old soon, we'd love to feature them.
Absolutely. We just upload their photo to our website, news8000.com. You're looking for the Submit Pictures button. It's under the Home tab on our website. Nice and easy. Stay with us. We have everything you need to know today in 5 minutes or less. Your morning news now is coming up next. About 8 minutes before the top of the hour, time for your morning news now. Community members in Spring Grove, Minnesota opened up their homes to provide shelter for the victims of last week's fire. The Chamber of Commerce says one community member opened up her summer home to the families until they can get back on their feet. Of course, Thursday afternoon, a structure fire destroyed 6 apartments and the True Value hardware store. And over the past few days, community members have donated money, food, and clothing. Red's IGA and Rushford Foods have donated over $2,000 in gift cards. The owner of Red's IGA says even the smallest donation makes a big difference right now.
Customers come in and drop off like $160 to throw in a bucket for the people, so we were able to start a little donation bucket at the registers too.
The Chamber says cash donations are the most helpful right now. Families can use the money for their immediate needs. The Chamber is still collecting donations and currently working on finding long-term housing for everyone affected by that devastating fire. Well, Mother Nature decided a little Wisconsin shop needed a blanket of ice. Take a look at this. The little building here houses Simply Scandinavian. It's a shop in Gills Rock, right next to Lake Michigan. The high winds from last week's storm fueled some big waves, covering the shop in an estimated foot of ice. The store's owner has been driving by and checking in on the shop daily. She says she's never seen the shop covered in such a thick layer.
So even though the Mother Nature has created some incredible artwork for us, it is a bit worrisome due to the weight that's on the building, but we're betting on the brave little shop doing just fine with its tough Nordic genes and pulling through for us.
The store's owner is looking forward to this week's warmer temperatures, hoping some of that ice will thaw out and take some weight off that building. Well, the recent colder than normal weather has not stopped people from visiting La Crosse's Rotary Lights in Riverside Park. The downtown light display is free, but volunteers ask for donations for local food pantries. During the remaining nights as we approach the new year, donations will be going to the Salvation Army, Caledonia and Onalaska Food Baskets, and St. Elizabeth's Food Pantry in Holmen. Rotary President Pat Stevens says he's expecting the warmer weather this week to bring in one last boost of donations.
We have our best nights in the park when there's a lot of people walking the park and enjoying it, rather than just circling it with vehicles and stuff. So, yeah, that sub-zero stuff hurts us a little bit, for sure.
Of course, the display will be open until the new year, and everyone coming to see the lights is encouraged to bring some non-perishable food items or even make a monetary donation. The lights turn on at 5 and gates close at 10. And of course, on Saturday night, there will be fireworks shows to celebrate the new year. The local Lego masters are sharing their love for toys and creativity. Brothers Jacob and Caleb Schilling of Holmen met with fans at the Deke Slayton Museum in Sparta to talk about all things Lego. The brothers, of course, competed on Fox's Lego Masters program and shared some special behind-the-scenes details with folks in attendance. The Schillings say Legos have been a lifelong passion of theirs, and being on the show has opened up many doors.
You'd never think that you'd get to see and do some of the things that we've gotten to do, being on national television, traveling the country, talking about what we love to do, which is be kids. It's opened up some fantastic opportunities.
Now, Caleb has an Instagram account that features their work. We have posted a link if you want to peruse on our website, news8000.com.
And as you head out the door this morning, it's going to be pretty cloudy. Temperatures into the upper 20s to low 30s, warming up into the mid to upper 30s though this afternoon, along with that south wind helping us out there to help keep us relatively mild for this time of the year with those cloudy weather conditions overhead. And it does look like that we probably will continue to remain this way for over the next 8 days or so with those cloudy and mild conditions. There is a chance of rain in the forecast a little bit for tomorrow, but more so into early next week on Monday and Tuesday. And I'm not complaining about these mild temperatures. I'll take it.
I know. I'm sure on some level, as a meteorologist, I'm sure you've enjoyed watching these weather systems kind of develop and travel across the country. But, you know, you don't want to be the bearer of bad news all the time.
Of course not.
Exactly.
Take what we can get.
For sure. Yeah. So enjoy the warm-up if you're so inclined. And enjoy the Badger victory. And I'm guessing a lot of us didn't get to watch last night's game, a 9:15 local time kickoff. Yeah. I was kind of baffled that they did that, but and it's for the players, of course, anyway. And to see Jim Leonhard finally go out with a win before he goes to maybe the Green Bay Packers or a different NFL team as a defensive coordinator, it was cool to see.
What was the final score?
24-17 on Wisconsin.
Man, nice. All right, right on.
That's Derek Sibley. I'm Ken Kozarowski. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, and have a great rest of your day.